What is up, YouTube? It is dusk. I've got a bit to cover here, so I'm going to try to go through it all as fast as possible. We've made a little checklist here. First off, yeah, that last duel video, totally unacceptable. I'm sorry I actually put that up. I promised to start pre-planning the settings for my duel videos. I have to admit, I'm at a loss for knowledge on the new Pokemon games for anyone who is interested in my Pokemon segment. But at the same time, I'm not even sure if Nintendo's been releasing that information. If I'm right, cool, I'm still on top of things. If I'm wrong, please comment below so I can keep up with with everything, keep everyone else informed. I do take deck and duel advice/tip requests. Take, for instance, I have just received a comment, or actually no, about 12 hours ago I received a comment from one of my subscribers, Don Ta, who writes, "Can you make a video on helping a new player start to make a deck?" I can. I have a 7-step process I use, and I guess I'll be making about 7 videos for that. But yes, if you guys have questions after I upload those videos, please comment on my channel. I'll be happy to accommodate. I'm sorry for the lack of consistency on the channel. I admit I am currently dabbling with a 3D modeling and design and animation program. I'm trying to copyright a story idea I have and turn it into a 3D series, if not a game. And if I can, trust me, you guys will be the first to see it on this channel. After the copyright, of course. I have changed my Skype name to accommodate the channel. You will find it under a search as, well, like my channel, Downtown Dusk, with the picture of Balam, Master of Death, as my profile picture. If you guys want to talk strategy, advice, anything Kaijudo related, or relating to any of the other games I feature on the channel, right now the only other one is Pokemon, but I might add more, who knows. Please, add me, talk to me while I'm on. And if I can figure out how to get a duel running on Skype, then I do open the doors to challengers. I need all the help I can to get ready by duel day at least. I realize that I have done no one else's decks but my own on the channel so far. And for that, I'm sorry, but to clarify, no one's actually asked me to show off their deck, or the small group of people I have around that actually do have some pretty good decks I'd like to show off. They don't really come to the shop I go to that often. I'm actually going to have to travel to their place every now and then. But yeah, open invite. Especially to local duelists, if you know me. If you have a deck you want me to show up on the channel, talk to me. Let's put some more ideas up besides my own, because the way I play, people might not want to do that. They might want to try your ideas. I mean, I don't know. If you're not local, then, as I've said before, please PM me a deck list and any details you want me to cover, or any requests for a deck, and let's see if I can make it happen. To help you guys navigate my channel easier, if you haven't looked at the descriptions on my videos before, if any videos are relatively linked, then I do add the links to the other linked videos in the description below. Like my last duel video for the Fire, Nature, Darkness Hyperspeed Ramp. You had, for my last deck showcase video, much easier to explain with that one. You had links to all 3 duels in the with the deck. You had a link to the man I gave a shout out to, Prophecy, his YouTube name is Ugata. But speaking of shout outs, the guy I mentioned who sent the comment earlier, Don Ta, check out this man's channel. This man is crazy with a yo-yo. I'm serious. If this man sharpened the edges of his yo-yo, I'd actually move, because the way he makes this thing go around, it's like it's a lethal weapon. I'm terrified of yo-yos. But no, it's actually pretty impressive. You check it out if you guys have time. One final emphasis: all decks on my channel, I will admit, are not perfect. I'm constantly finding ways to improve them, especially when, not even when new booster packs come out, just I'm constantly finding ways to improve. But they are, like I'm saying, they are not exact formulas. My decks are mainly just cookie cutter guidelines for you guys to get ideas to build your own decks. And there are several things that factor how I make decks and how you guys should make a deck. The most important one being environment. The type of people I play and their respective deck types are probably vastly different from the people at you guys' locals. So yeah, if you guys do like my decks and try using them, I recommend that you take a critical look at them and consider what cards were probably added for my locals and what might you want to switch around to adapt to your own. And we have 2 new cards for Duel Day shown. They're both dual civs. The first one, which I might get a good run-in with if I can manage to get 3. Or actually, maybe just 2. Sarkhan Storm Dynamo. A level 8, 7,500 creature with blocker and double breaker. He shares the races of Skyforce Champion, nice Evo bait, not to mention a tap if you have Strategist out, and Trench Hunter. Not much you can do with that right now, but for the first few dual civ creatures, even in the old game, they did have dual races too. His other ability is Distress Beacon. When this creature is banished, draw up to 3 cards. You get to pick how many you draw. I mean, I guess you may only want to draw 1 or 2 if it's late game and your deck's already really small. But if this thing is banished, you still have like half your deck left. I don't see any reason why it says up. I mean, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't just draw 3. In a water light deck, you want your hand advantage. Now, the next card will be a favorite for you Blurple players. Boom. I'm probably going to say this name wrong. Gribolus the Gatherer. A level 7, 7,000 double breaker who shares the races of Aquan and Tarborg. Neither of those races are very heavily supported either, now that I mention it, but considering that the dual civ mechanic is supposed to be the highlight of the next, what do they call it? Cycle? No, not cycle, they called it, the next trinity of boosters. Let me just go with that until I can remember what it was called. Yeah, considering these are supposed to be like the highlight of those next 3 boosters after Dragon Striking Furnace, I kind of don't want the races on them to be that heavily supported. At least not both races. You should, I mean, I believe like for a good number of like really strong ones, you should have to pick between doing the dual civ mechanic or the evolution mechanic. Even if it's both in a deck, cool, but I don't believe the same card, if it's like that powerful, should have both, unless it's a dual civ evolution. But then that goes into Vortex Evolution, which I'm not too sure if they're going to give us that mechanic this early. Now, his ability beyond Double Breaker. Oh, if you guys haven't noticed, these creatures enter the battle zone tapped. That is part of the mechanic of dual civ. The other part of the mechanic is that in order to summon them, you don't have to tap both civs in your mana, but you do have to have both civs in your mana zone somewhere. So for this guy's case, you would need at least 1 darkness and at least 1 water mana in your mana zone before you can start tapping to bring him out. Now, his other ability, which I see it as a little bit gutsy, but at the same time, the potential benefits would serve you. I mean, oh, you don't even have a choice in this. Wow. So, yeah, this is kind of a. It's not that dicey of a card. I mean, not that dicey of an effect, but you do stand to gain a good bit. When it's called Spell Scourge. When this creature enters the battle zone, each player puts the top card of his or her deck into his or her discard pile. Boom! Instant milling, and we already have a water milling card and a darkness milling card. So I think you guys know which deck I'm going to throw this into. Oh, and as a double breaker to boot, that deck needed more double breakers. Now, for each spell that was put in the discard pile this way, won't be hard for that deck, it's control, you may draw a card. So, the deck, like I just said, the deck you're likely to put this in is control. You're likely to have half your cards spells in a control deck. So, you're probably going to have a 1 in 2 chance to draw back the card you had just lost with this card. And then, based on your opponent's deck, you might get an extra card, just for kicks. Those are the new previews that Wizards of the Coast has shown us. They will be available at Dual Day tournaments. Now, I don't know if they're going to be available from the day one on the Dual Day tournaments. Probably not. But if they are available before a event for the booster set after Dragon Striking Furnace, then we're probably going to want to base decks around these to earn the achievements necessary for that event. Yeah, that's what you got so far. Oh, that's what I got so far. I hope you guys like it. I have to start planning the scripts for my videos involving the request I just now promised to answer. See you guys then. I have already finished my edits to last week's deck for this week, and I'll see you guys on this weekend with my new deck video and deck showcase and duel videos. Later.